is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Hangin with Cowboys.
Antoine Woods has his first NFL sack.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, and Shannon Gross.
What a difference a week can make. I am so glad they won that game.
Feeling good,
it would have
right?
sucked around here if they would have lost this week.
Victory Monday, man.
Victory Monday. Who's your special guest on that side of the table, Nate?
It's my baby brother, man, Christopher Antonio Newton. We call him Tony. With
Tony.
The Y. With the Y.
Welcome to the show, Tony. All
right.
Grab that microphone.
Hey, glad to be here.
I know Nate's trying to shut you down, but we're going to let you talk a little
That's right.
bit.
We
Well,
went,
no,
we went all the dirt on Nate growing up.
You
Yeah.
can let it, you could, hey, run it.
We are.
Run it.
Third segment's all about
Run it. I just
young
don't
Nate.
want Doug saying, wow, we don't even know this dude, and gave him time, and Doug don't even get no time. You see what I'm saying?
Doug's
Hey, he
busy.
came in with you. He must be good.
Yeah.
Doug's busy working, trying to get us some sound bites. Right?
What are those sound bites containing?
I don't know. We might not find out.
Oh, take your shots.
Love you, Doug.
I know it.
Wow.
I know. Look, call us. We want to hear from you, the people.
888-855-2297. Try us.
888-855-2297. Man, that was a good game. Started off as a good game, then it got kind of boring.
Well,
What'd you think,
got
Kurt?
a
You
little-
watched it from home?
yes, I did.
Nate,
I did.
you watched it from the studio?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What Kurt,
was
you
a-
go first.
It was an interesting game. It was exciting at the beginning, then it kind of, the
Turned
offense
into
sputtered.
NFC East.
Yeah, it kind
Turn
of
into NFC East.
grind a little bit, and then it got a little scary at the end.
Yeah.
But they did what they had to do. They got the win, so
Now,
all good.
Let me ask you this, Nate. I'll ask you. They started out and they did exactly when they started the game, I said, I'll be damned. Nate got this right again. Because you said last week I would come out with four wides, Zeke in the backfield, spread them out, and then take a
came
shot.
with three wides and a tight end and Zeke in the backfield. And what's amazing is even if you still intend to run the football a lot, you got to give them the impression that you're going to throw it. But by them throwing the first pass, and it was for 9 yards, then Zeke run for one, then all of a sudden you're over the top. But my main concern going to this game was fixing your quarterback. Mm-hmm. And by any means necessary. And what they did was featured Dak. Whenever they had a chance to run that read option or whatever they call it, run pass option or the option itself, he was successful. Mm-hmm. His feathers, man, like I said, he was a peacock this past game. I mean, he was feeling good. He accepted the challenge, what Collins threw out there. And as we saw in his post-game show, he said the whole team accepted that challenge. But he was not as sharp as you would like him to be, but he was feeling good. The team was feeling good. They got ahead of New York, put them behind the chains. That goes a long ways when we can score first, whether it be 3 or 7. And it's where our defense been playing as well as they've been playing in these two early games, these two early preseason games. Everything is rolling just right. What we got to have is a better third down ratio. Mm-hmm. We still got to cut down on these bad penalties, man. They just come at the wrong time.
Yeah, they had a couple of bad ones.
We had a couple
time.
of bad ones again. So if we can clean up the penalties and just go a little bit better, like 5 for 10, because that's who we are. We're a third down team.
They were what, 3 for 10?
3 for 10.
Yeah.
And we are a third down team. We live for the 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2. We live for that because now we hurt you. We physically hurt you. Even though we had some success, and even though this is one of Zeke's best games. And
You think so?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, this is what we call This is what we call football. This is what we call the grind time. When it's 17 carries, 180 yards, and 2 touchdowns, we better be blowing folks out. When it's like that, I mean, that play action pass working, we having fun. But what happened when you ain't having fun? What happened when somebody hitting you in your face?
Right.
It's called grind time. Now, he had a lot of negative runs that wind up 1-yard gain, 3-yard gain. What it does was it puts us back balanced. The run game always should keep you balanced. And that's what he did. You saw that one run where it was a 2-yard loss. He spent back, put his back to him. He thought it was down. Then he lunged for another 2 or 3 yard, turned out to be a 3-yard, 4-yard run. Well, he had a bunch of those where he had to make things happen to keep drives alive, to keep your will and forcing your will on them. And when you had that type of run, what was it? What was his stats? What excuse me, that's me. What was his stats?
He ran the ball 17 times for 78 yards and caught 5 passes.
Those were the nicest 78 yards, because if you can really respect what type of athlete he is, the mental toughness that it took, the physical toughness that that it takes, that's what you live on. The NFC East, if you notice the NFC East, it's been built so nobody can have a run game. They want you one-dimensional. They don't care if you throw 60 times. As long as they know it, they can defend it. They feel like they can get you. But if they don't know, if you can balance it up a little bit with that run like Zeke was doing yesterday, that's all you need.
Does it bother you that it seems like, to me, one of his strong suits is catching the ball out of the backfield? Mm-hmm. But it seems like, especially last night, every time they would throw to him, he was going sideways. It was a swing pass. He was a dump down. Well, you know what? That's life. As the season go on and as he gets more comfortable, we know he can catch the ball, but as he gets more comfortable, he gonna make some people miss.
Right.
And then 1 or 2 times he makes people miss, he gonna go a long ways with the ball. So don't right about now in this preseason, you got to win games. It's 4 games that we got to get prepared for. We got 2 more. Now, Coach Lanahan, our offensive coordinator, should know who is who, how to play certain players, to design certain plays.
By now or after 4 games?
After about 4 games.
Yeah.
So they're still trying to figure out who's good and what package and who can do what.
Now you know it. I mean, a lot of people say they football fans or they this, and that. But in the preseason, what did we learn and what did they learn? Tell me, what did our offense learn in the preseason?
Not much. They weren't out there enough.
How much? What? Tell me who is Thompson? Who is Thompson? Tell me who is Allen Hurns? Mm-hmm. We know who Cole Beasley is and what he does well. Who is Connor Williams? Mm-hmm. If we asking that question, definitely the offensive coordinator asking that question, because now the bullets are for real. Mm-hmm. Like, you've heard me say it over and over and over. We ain't bumping and grinding in 5 o'clock traffic no more on 75.
Autobahn,
it's
right?
The Autobahn. Everybody 100 miles an hour. So
let's go to the phones. Tom in D.C. What's up, Tom?
What's up, Shannon? How you doing, buddy?
Great. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good, man.
All right. So listen, I don't want to be as broad as says Joe from Flower Mound, but I was thrilled that we won the game last night. Mm-hmm. But I found myself frustrated, and this is why. I get that Dak, passed in the pocket last night. I get that he ran well. I get that we threw a long pass that everybody's wanted us to throw. But he only threw for 160 yards last night. And if you take away the big play,
you can't.
He only threw for 94
You can't. You can't.
So, I know you can't, but it reminded me of I don't want to be like a Trent Dilfer team with a really good defense and
If you win 14 games, what's wrong with it?
I know, but we won that game last night because the Giants weren't that great of a team last night. But right. I don't know if we're going to win a lot of games throwing 160 yards.
You don't think that the Cowboys would get better as the league get better?
I'm hoping.
You know,
I-
right about now, and I'm gonna continue to say this, and I'm gonna be patient with our callers. Is
Better be nice to our callers.
yeah, I'm
be
gonna
nice,
be patient.
Nate.
No, I'm gonna be
nice
patient.
to
No,
me, Nate.
I'm gonna be
Be nice
no.
Tom
I'm
hasn't
gonna
done
be-
anything to
No,
you.
I'm gonna be patient with our callers. Last week, we couldn't get nothing going, and we went to Carolina and we lost this game. This week here, they built on last week's loss. I don't care how bad the Giants is. I don't care how bad the Giants are. Odell Beckham, this kid Barkley, their tight end Ingram,
Evan Ingram.
Shepard. You think you don't think they're good? You don't think they're good. Now we know the offensive line is shaky, but you don't think they're good. You don't think Snacks Harrison. You don't think Delvin Thomas. You don't think Ogletree. You don't think Collins, who's a one of the top 2 safeties in the game. You don't think Janoris Jenkins. You don't think that they hold no sway in what happened last night.
I do.
Okay,
I do.
and if you do, where do you rank the Giants' defense? I'm gonna ask you that. Where do you rank the Giants' defense in this early season? Top 10?
I would say
top
average.
15?
I would say average.
Average. You think the Giants' defense is average?
I
So
think
what
last
you're
night they
saying
were.
is that there's at least 20 other teams better than the Giants' defense.
Well, you know what I think my reasoning for thinking this is that, and I think they showed it last night, is that the Cowboys, it feels like the coaching staff gets comfortable. So we broke out, and then they, I was listening to the earlier show, and Hellman was saying how we got bored for, second and third quarter, and that's how I kind of felt. And I don't want, I guess I'm fearful that the coaching staff is will get accepted of this kind of 160-yard performance.
No, they won't.
I think
they won't.
we all
No, they
know
won't. No,
that
no,
we-
they won't. No,
Well, I
no,
hope
no,
not.
no.
Thanks for the call, Tom.
What we fail to realize is it ain't finna happen in game 2. It ain't finna happen in game 2. I don't care. It's only 1 or 2 teams, maybe 3 in this league that has the ability in game 2 to go out and score 30 points. And one of them is called the Los Angeles Rams. They are the greatest team right now because of one thing, pure and sheer talent. They have it per position over everybody else. The second best team, and they don't even have a good quarterback, is and he won a Super Bowl, is the Eagles. Now, besides these 2 teams, and Tom Brady being Tom Brady, and Aaron Rodgers being Aaron Rodgers, tell me what teams in this league in the second, Tampa Bay is fluky.
Mm-hmm.
They fluking. Believe me, they'll fluke. I am not saying they're a fraud, but I'm saying what's happening with their quarterback, he's lighting up the league. Will he stay hot? Time says he won't. I hope they do. Florida team, I hope they do. But anyway, tell me what team is going to start. It's going to do that in the second week.
Well, I don't have a problem with them starting the way that they've started. As long as they get a little bit better every week, I don't want them peaking the 4th week of the season. I want them to get a little bit better, execute better, and then by week 10, 12, then you're rolling. I don't have a problem with them starting this way.
It's got 4 games. Give me your pen. We got 4 games.
You better be nice
We
to Tom
won.
when he
No.
calls.
You 1-1. Everybody in our league is 1-1 except New York. They 0-2.
First place, baby.
You go to the NFC South. We got 2-0 team. That's Tampa Bay. Everybody else is what? 1-1. You go over to the North. You got the Bears. You got Green Bay
Vikings.
What are their records?
They are.
One of them is 1-1, and the other is 0-1.
Bears play tonight, yeah.
I mean, that's tied.
Green Bay and Minnesota are 1-0-1 because
Right.
they tied.
Oh.
Chicago's 0-1. Detroit's 0-2.
Okay. Now I ask this question here. We already determined, us experts, that this is going to be a tight race in the NFC. Am I correct?
Correct.
We got 9 teams virtually vying for 6 spots.
Mm-hmm.
What team besides the Rams that you can say as of right now that you really feeling, wow, they are over the top? Every team, if you go and watch these games yesterday, every team that seemed like they lost in the first week kind of constructed themselves in the second week. Or if they won in the first week, they kind of like, wow. And I'll give you a prime example. And this is AFC teams. You couldn't tell me that Sam Darnold won Rookie of the Year against Detroit the first week.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden he throws 2 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
And he threw for 300 yards, he threw 2 interceptions. Well, he ain't Rookie of the Year no more. So when you trying to judge the coaches and you're trying to judge the players, are you judging them off what this season is bringing? And right now, no. If this was 4 games, what's that guy name that called in?
Tom.
If Tom would call in after 4 games and have these same concerns, I promise you, Nate will have these same concerns.
All right, you heard it, Tom.
Yeah,
Call
yeah.
back after 2 more games.
But if you're looking for a quarterback that's a quarterback that for his last 2 years, well, his first year and a half, he was basically a facilitator. He was basically a complimentary player. Now, in his last 11 games, he's virtually had to be that centerpiece. You know, with a fluctuating offensive line, it don't work that way. He had some success last night. The game played out how it played because New York defense, and I could be totally wrong here. I could be totally wrong. And they missing Vernon Olivier. They missing their best pass rusher. I don't know who told you that New York don't have a good defense. I know David Hellman ain't told Tom that New York don't have a good defense. What all we talked about last week was we're going to face basically the same defense whereas Carolina run a 4-3, this team run a 3-4. They got the second highest coach, defensive coordinator that loves to blitz. He's the second highest. And on top of that, they not only have a nice defensive front, they got a nice back end with Jenkins, with Collins, and what's our other guy? Eli Apple playing better. Mm-hmm. So we may not like the game, but would you feel more comfortable with 0-2?
Right.
For me, I think, and I'm guilty of this too, but I think fans get a little too hung up on the yards of what Dak's
Fantasy
doing.
football has ruined watching football. That's what that is.
Right now, Dak, there's 2 key things he needs to do, and one is control the ball, not turn it or complete his passes, and 2, not turn it over. And he did that last night. He didn't turn the ball over at all, which I'm stealing stats here from the morning news, but 19 times in his career, he hasn't committed a turnover in a game. The Cowboys are 18-1 in those games. And to go along with that, last night, he hit his first 2, boom, boom, and then he went through a stretch where he was 3 for 10 on his passing. Well, that got everybody kind of upset and worried. But then he finished the game. He completed 11 in his last 13, and the Cowboys kept the ball and kept moving. And that's what he has to do. He's not going to throw up 300 yards, but he has to keep the Cowboys moving, and he can't turn the ball over, and he did that. And the Cowboys win when he does.
Tell me if I'm seeing this right, because it seems like to me their game plan is get an early lead.
And it's always been that.
Slow the game down. Feed Zeke.
Been that.
Dak don't make any stupid plays. Defense, hold them, bend but don't break. Hold them to 3.
Now it ain't bend and don't break. Right. It's attack and make plays.
But that's the way they play, and I'm okay with Dak having these stats because that's the way they go into the game.
Stats. I'm actually it's too simple. It's too simple.
I need to go get you some cookies. You grumpy today.
No. I'm asking a question, brother. I'm asking a question. Well, I'm gonna let you answer. Who is the receiver that this kid can depend on? Who is his blanket? Who?
Nobody yet.
Okay.
Nobody stepped up.
Any other team would have the right to work through this. Pat Shermer last night, and when you hear their guys talk, because we do a behind the enemy lines thing on the show that I do, and everybody gets an opportunity to get comfortable with their team. Dak's not only going into his third year, his second game into his third year, he don't even have the right to get comfortable with his receivers.
And didn't play with any of them in the preseason.
So I'm not grumpy. I'm asking tough questions that, okay, now I'm forcing you to think, and what I've always learned is if you watch a game, and especially males, if you watch a game and you already done made up in your mind and you hear one of these quacks on the radio say something, that's what you believe. And no matter what's right and what's before you, you don't want to see it. You're just going to play the tunes. It's like playing the hits. It's just like that's what they're going to play. And we needed a victory, and we got that victory. We needed for somebody to make a few big plays, and there was several big plays made. We needed to grind out the clock. We grind out the clock. This is what, like last night, we watching the game, and it's so funny to me. Rico runs, boom, then a flag route. I call it flag, where he presses the guy, then goes to the corner. All you heard from our people, oh, he overthrew him. Oh, he overthrew him. And I'm saying to myself, okay, now did you watch what the quarterback had to go through? And nobody noticed, and I didn't ask these people who was going through that. I'm sitting there saying, wow, he was under pressure. The quarterback was under pressure. So this morning I turned on the radio to listen to the so-called experts. Oh, man, he missed Rico in the corner. He's got to make that throw. And I'm saying, wow. How about Rico learning all his plays so we can have him on the field all the time?
Yep.
So it won't be a 50-50 shot of we know that if we put Rico in the game, he's going to be one of our main targets. So let's put some heat on this kid so we can, force him to throw it faster than he wants to. I see the game a little bit different than most people.
Yeah.
This ain't just one guy. It ain't but 2 or 3 guys in this league that can take over games, and ain't none of them in Dallas. Now, one of them is in Green Bay, and the other is in Foxborough.
He didn't do so great yesterday.
Who that?
Can I throw
Brady.
one more stat for you here?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what you do, man.
That's
You
what I
throw
do.
stats. Don't ever ask if you can throw a stat.
So far, I'm stealing this stat again. So through the first games, through these first 2 weeks, 19 guys have thrown for 300 yards. 6 have won.
Wow.
It's not all about yardage.
Nope.
I tell people all the time, how does Ryan for the Falcons with all that talent? Ryan for Atlanta with all that talent. He has maybe had, out of his 13, 14 years, he has maybe had 2 bad offensive teams when it came to talent. So for 12 years or more, Ryan has had top flight offensive skill talent. He's went to 1 Super Bowl. But Cam don't have the stats. And I'm talking about Cam, he don't have the stats. He don't have the athletes. But how does he get to 1 Super Bowl? Because it ain't about your numbers in your fantasy league football. It's about, can you put a W? Can you put a W over in that left column? And that's what and like I tell people, it's great that people do fantasy football because it generates money. You bring Mr. Jones money, it allows him to pay us. Just keep going to your fantasy and doing whatever you're doing. so I can get paid.
Well, so we can keep Nate on the show.
Yeah, but don't get it twisted that if you throw for 300 yards or that if you rush for 200 yards, you can throw for 300 yards and you can also throw 2 interceptions. Ask Sam Darnold how he feel today. He threw for 300 yards. He lost.
Yeah. And Tom, I love you, but if Dak Prescott is Trent Dilfer or Joe Flacco and he wins a championship for the Dallas Cowboys, I've been here 15 years and I would love to have a ring, and I would take that rather than him throwing for 400 yards a game. Give me that quarterback if he wins.
Now, last week, Nate said that Dak needed to free his mind and play football.
Yes.
And it kind of looked like he did that. Did you think he did that?
Yeah, for the most part, he did.
I thought he did, too. He looked more – maybe he was just more motivated because of what Colin said. But he had – it's hard to tell watching him from up in the stand or whatever, but he seemed to be driven or something. There seemed to be a little
Well, the
bit
thing
more.
about it, you can tell he had a different attitude because he didn't slide not once.
Yeah.
He normally slides on his runs, but and like I say, I'm not. It's like, wow, man, we don't. You feel like you listen to these people talk and tell you all these things of how it should be, and Dak ain't never been the guy that threw for 300 yards for us to win a game.
Mm-hmm.
He did that against New York last year. 300 yards, I think we won the game. I don't know if we did or not. But he's always been a 250, a 260 guy. We haven't faced no easy defenses. And more importantly, we have new receivers. Now, if we 4, 5, 6 games in and we throwing for 160 yards, I'm going to be concerned myself. I'm like, wow, what's wrong here? Why aren't these guys connecting? Why, what's wrong with our wide receivers? What's wrong with our quarterback? But you needed this win today. You needed this win yesterday. You needed this win because 0-2 is an ugly thing. You went over that last night. Chris Collinsworth went over it. He had the same stat you had since 2002. Only 9 teams have started 0-2.
Made the playoffs.
Made the playoffs.
Yep.
That's 11%.
Well, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we've got some sound bites from after the game, and we'll take some more calls. 888-855-2297 on Hanging with the Boys.
It can be hard to find the right resource for learning about important financial matters. You search how to build savings, you end up reading about the one weird ingredient from supermarkets that can make you taller. That's why Bank of America built BetterMoneyHabits.com, a safe little corner of the internet for answering your financial questions. Full of simple videos and tips, Better Money Habits can show you how to make the most of your money without resorting to random searches that always seem to lead to unbelievable photos of childhood stars grown up. To learn more, visit BetterMoneyHabits.com.
I definitely have an Instagram foodie thing, but the low-light camera on my new Samsung Galaxy S9 from AT&T is getting me a whole new world of likes and shares. Baskets of bread by candlelight, colorful fruit plates in full sun. Even a dimly lit Cobb salad was recently hailed as a masterpiece.
Come in now and ask how to get half off the new Samsung Galaxy S9 from AT&T. AT&T, more for your thing. That's our thing. Limited time only. See store for details or att.com/Samsung50. The dual aperture supports f1.5 mode and f2.4 mode. Dual aperture is installed on the rear camera.
Oh, I am craving a Dr. Pepper. I got some soda. I asked not for soda. I asked for ice-cold, craveable Dr. Pepper. Its flavor is more one of a kind than a four-toed sloth with a thirst for speed. So stop settling for soda and start demanding Dr. Pepper. I love sloths. When you crave a Dr. Pepper, nothing else will do. Grab an ice-cold 20-ounce Dr. Pepper today. Dr. Pepper, the one you crave.
To work this big land, you need equipment with values rooted as deep in Texas soil as you are. Like John Deere compact tractors with a 6-year powertrain warranty and big features that help you work less so you have more time to do what you love. John Deere was first in the Texas fields, and we're proud to be on the field as the official ag and turf equipment of the Dallas Cowboys. Find Texas-sized deals at myjohndeerdealer.com/football. Terms, conditions, exclusions, and warranty limitations apply. See dealer for details.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
3rd and 2, handoff Elliott trying to get up the middle. He's still got it. He bangs across the goal line. Touchdown. Zeke Elliott walked the dog. Touchdown Cowboys with 5:45 to play. And there is a Zeke run.
And there is Kurt Daniels.
Here I am. It's the only reason I'm here. Tony, do you have your Tommy John underwear on today? No. I gotta set you up now. Pick your plays, not your wedgies. Tommy John is the most comfortable underwear on the planet. Comes backed by no wedgie guarantee. If you suffer a wedgie in your Tommy Johns, they'll give you your money back. Shop exclusive Cowboys underwear at TommyJohn.com/Cowboys for 20% off your first order. TommyJohn.com/Cowboys.
Let's listen to what Coach Garrett and Dak had to say about execution after the game last night.
He's a big-time playmaker, and we've said this all along. You can put him in a lot of different spots. You can line him up outside as a receiver, in the slot. You can put him in the backfield. He can do a lot of different things for you, and that's part of the package of plays.
Sorry, that was Tavon. Here's Garrett on execution.
Douglas, don't make me drop an S-bomb in the show. Start it over. I screwed that up for you. Jesus.
His maturity level since I've met him has been off the charts. He handles every situation like a pro, and he has great confidence in himself. He's got great confidence in what we're doing and the people around him, and he's as good a worker as we have on our team. And his mindset and mentality is fantastic every day, regardless of what the circumstances are. He's incredibly mentally tough and practiced well this week and obviously played a heck of a game tonight.
We executed the plays tonight. Simple as that. I was able to throw the ball better, much better than I did last game. So, it just came down to that. We protected better. Overall, ran the ball better. It was just a much cleaner game in our execution.
Execution. What'd you see on TV, Kurt?
They executed.
Yeah?
No, it was good
Good
to
answer.
see him. It was good to see him mix them up. And the fact that, especially Dak running the ball, that was a surprise. And it's a little... I have mixed feelings
Worrisome?
about that. Yeah.
Because he wasn't sliding.
Right. He was trying to dish it out.
Yeah.
And
think he was a little pissed off about what Collins said?
For sure.
What he was trying to do is set the tone for his team.
Right.
And it was a little unsafe. He'll probably go back to sliding this week.
Mm-hmm. You think so?
Yeah. He'll probably go back to sliding because that's what we've seen him do for the last 30-something games.
But does that
slide?
If you're trying to set a tone, then are you?
Well, the thing about it, he set his tone. Now it's up for the other guys to continue that tone. You don't want to put yourself in danger, and your teammates know that, and they should be smart enough to know that. He was just trying to set a tone. They needed a win yesterday. They needed a win in a bad way. I just believe when you're trying to get to know your team, and I'm talking about him as an offensive leader, you're trying to get to know your team. You want them to get to know you, and you want them to know that if it's a 3rd and 5 and the game is on the line, it's a tight situation, I'm gonna give you what I got. And as long as those players had that perception of him, they're gonna give what they got. You saw yesterday where Thompson, was tackled. They caught the ball in front of the sticks. All of a sudden, dude come and tackle. You see the extra effort that he gave. You see the extra effort that Zeke gave. It's two guys on this team that's offensive, that's leaders. And that leader ain't Cole Beasley. That leader ain't Tavon Austin. That leader is Zeke and Dak. That we have no other leaders until we'll know 7 games in, 8 games in. We're like, ooh, such and such is this, such and such is that. Wow, he a tough guy. But we don't have that right now.
No, but I hope it's a balance because you want him to set that tone. But Stephen Jones said on the Fan today, we can't necessarily see our plan being to run Dak 8 to 10 times a game. He's worried about serving up the quarterback as a runner, and he said, I think you use it to set everything else up. But I don't know, 8 to 10 times of Dak running the read option.
And yesterday was only a tone setter.
But
you needed to win a game.
Dak was asked about not sliding after the game, and this is what he said.
Those guys are DBs. Size-wise, they're a little bit smaller, so I wanted to try to make them make tackles, and that was important, not to just go down.
Does that sound like he was maybe answering the challenge from last week?
No.
You don't think so?
That is a guy that calculated. He needed to set the tone. He did that early.
Well, the DBs made the challenge to him, though.
Yeah, I understand that. But Collins can bust him up. That was who made the challenge to him. What I'm trying to say is, and I'll say it over, what he was I'll put it like this. Y'all been in competitive sports before, right?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had an NFL
No.
back trying to get
No. I did not ask that. I did not ask that. The question I asked is, y'all been in competitive sports, right?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And a lot of times, guys may have been better than you, but you was not going to back down. You was going to let them know who you were, right? That don't change as you grow up. So now, I will go back. He was setting a tone. He's not going – he know how valuable he is to this team. He knows that behind him is Cooper Rush. He will slide when it's necessary. He was setting a tone.
But, okay, so the tone he sets against the Giants, that carries over. See, I guess I wonder, like, now he faces the Seahawks and he slides, and their defensive backs are like, oh, you know,
that's
he's
fine.
not setting the tone today.
If he's got a first down, it don't matter. If he continues to drive, it don't matter. What you set the tone for was not for Seattle. You set the tone for your team. Mm-hmm. He's not leading Seattle. He's leading the Dallas Cowboys. That is not a hard thing to figure out. Mr. Jones don't lead the Washington Redskins. He leads who? He leads the Dallas Cowboys organization. So Mr. Schneider can come in here and raise all the sand he wants. Everybody be like, hey, man, what's up with this dude? But if Mr. Jones come in here raising all the sand he wants, what do we do as employees?
Right.
Nah, he ain't got to do that but one time.
That's it. See, I guess that's my question is, you know, you go into the next game and instead of, you know, maybe he doesn't want to run as much, or maybe he slides instead of
maybe the game plan don't call for that.
Yeah, but I guess as a teammate, then are you saying, well, Dak took on the defensive back last game, he's not taking off the defensive?
No, you don't. I'll say it again.
I'm just asking. I'm just trying
and I'm explaining it as simple as this right here. The perception of your team is he's tough and he will do what it takes to win the game. That has already been established. If you go over there and ask them, what do you think about Dak? You'll basically get the same thing your head coach just said. He's smart, he's intelligent, he's tough, he can handle adversity. He comes back, he practices every day, he watches his film. There's no issue. Do we have an issue with Sean Lee? Do we question whether he's tough or not? Do we question whether somebody going to follow him?
No, but
it's the same. It's no different now.
Well, he's not sliding. That's what I'm just saying.
No, it's the same with Dak.
Right. No, I agree.
And I can say, well, Sean Lee's not the quarterback. Sean Lee is not important in Dak. I can say that. But that would be wrong because Sean Lee is, to a certain point, just as important as the quarterback. You can't make an issue where there's none. He is the undisputed leader of the offense. They know who he is. We needed a victory. We could have been 0-2 after this game. We needed a victory to stay within the 1-1 of the NFC. That is the bottom line. There's no question in the players. I hate to say this because y'all are my new teammates, but I'm an ex-player.
You used to play?
That's why we ask you these questions.
But I'm keep explaining the same thing over and over.
I think what Kurt's saying is he gets that, but I think what you're saying, if I see this right, I'm the mediator here in the middle, is that's great and he can set the tone all he wants. Sean Lee's job is to crack heads, and if he gets hurt, that's part of his job. If Dak's not on the field to lead him, then him running and setting the tone doesn't matter because his job is to be on the field and lead them from a quarterback and not necessarily run people over is what you're saying, right?
Well, that. And I agree that I think he has set a tone, and I just want this I want it to build and carry off this.
And it will.
And if,
it will. As he
doesn't have to go out there and every week run over defensive backs every game.
As he get to know his receivers better, and as they get to know him, and as the offensive coordinator hopefully gets to understand the receivers better, that you will see less and less of that. You'll see less and less of that.
You know, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. Him setting the tone. These receivers that are on that they're trusting him. They haven't seen him play in person. But this was the second week, so that makes a lot more sense when you just said that, and it kind of clicks. See, he's showing them this is who I am.
You was watching it on TV, right?
Yes.
Did you remember when Chris Collinsworth said, "Did you hear Dak? Did you hear Dak switch the whole protection
go left or whatever?" Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna ask you this right here. What do you thought Joe Looney thought after that play? If you're Joe Looney, what did you think?
He's a leader. He's smart. He knows what he's doing. Yeah.
Now you just answered your own question. So whenever you ask me that question again, let's go back to that right there.
I don't think there's a question about that. It was more just the physical part of.
You have to do
like
it.
I think that threat of a run has to be there. That threat of Dak's going to mow over that cornerback has to be there.
And that's something he didn't do last week, and he had to reverse that.
That don't have to be there.
No?
A quarterback running over a DB, that threat don't have to be there. The threat of the run has to be there. Not the threat of running over somebody because...
Yeah, the threat of the run is the main...
Yes, because Aaron Rodgers do not run over nobody.
Yeah,
but he always had... Aaron Rodgers don't run?
Well, he's not... Is he a running quarterback?
He's probably the most mobile quarterback in the league.
He's mobile, but they don't design running plays for him a lot, do they? I don't follow the Packers.
They don't have to.
He doesn't do what Eli did and run right into Jalen Smith.
That was so awesome.
But I'm not sure he does a whole lot of what Dak does either and run the read option.
He does.
Yeah, he avoids contact.
He does whatever it takes. If you watch the game, he does whatever it takes to win. If you have to take off and run, he's going to take off and run. And that is what we're not giving Dak. The ability, let's give him 4 or 5, not 4 or 5 years because if he ain't no good, he need to go. But let's give him an opportunity for him to learn this game. It's a time to run. It's a time to run over people. It's a time to slide. And he will learn that if the people around him have to be better. The people around him have to be good. And if the people around him, when you have 20, see this is his issue. You have 24 or 26 touchdowns in your rookie year versus 4 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
How do you live up to that?
Yes, a high bar.
So now everybody want to ask all of these I'm the smartest guy in the room questions. You can't live up to that. The only way you can live up to that is everybody around you grow. If everybody around you jump up 20 points in their IQ, now you can live up to that. But you can't live up to that. It's been proven. Nick Foles, remember his great year, had 27 touchdowns and whatever, 5 or 6 interceptions. What happened the next year? He played okay, but it wasn't this.
Mm-hmm.
And see, that is what everybody want and pray for. But the Washington Redskins did not set pat. Okay, man, they got Zeke. So what they do, they go out and get a first-round pick 2 years ago, defensive lineman. They went out and got a first-round pick this year, defensive lineman. The Eagles already had Fletcher Cox. What does the Giants do? They go out and get Snacks Harrison. They go out and get Delvin. They go out and get, so we're going to find out if this quarterback can do what he can do. But it all comes down to, at the end of the day, if you don't win, then we can see your weaknesses. If you win, let's don't start creating new weaknesses.
Let's go back to the phone. Ian in Arlington, you still there?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, how are you?
Oh, doing great, guys. First off, I just wanted to give a big welcome back to Kurt Daniels on behalf of the Cowboys fans. We missed you, buddy.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll keep it short. I was just going to do a statement and a question for you, and the question's for all you guys. But the statement I have is the next route we see to the corner of the end zone is going to be a touchdown to Bryce Butler. He's coming back. He's tall. He's fast. I always liked him better than T. Will, and he's going to make it. It's going to be good. Then the question I got for all you guys is based on this team, this Cowboys team as it looks right now, and this is something I would usually never consider. Would you be comfortable drafting a tight end in the first round next year of the draft? And I'll hang up and let y'all talk about it. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Ian. First, what do you guys think about the rumors that they're bringing Bryce Butler back?
It surprised me a little, but obviously he knows the system, so I guess perhaps he could help. But the fact that they let him go once, and now the Cardinals have let him go, and now you wonder what's there. And the guys they brought in, Deon Thompson and Austin, I mean, they're speed guys, which is kind of what Butler is. So I'm not sure. I guess they'll find a place for him if they do, but I'm not sure what the thinking is there, I guess, other than he knows the system already.
Yeah.
When I see him, I believe it. When I see him, I believe it. that's just another guy that we got to work into the mix. That's just another guy that the quarterback got to reacquaint himself with. That's just another guy that's got to learn that the new coach is strict on his route running. Just another way,
another guy.
Yeah,
like
another guy. So so we so now we got to figure out if Dak miss him, then what's wrong with Dak?
Right.
We got a new guy. Come on, man.
What about a tight end in the first round? You opposed to that?
No, not if he's deserving of a first-round pick, and they obviously need one. They didn't even throw to the tight end last night, never mind catch one. So I take that back. They threw to Gathers twice, but, the other two, Jarwin and Swaim, didn't even get a look. So if he's a first-round talent, sure.
Nate?
I don't know, man.
I'm not.
Is there such a thing as a first-round tight end talent?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
that's why I'm not in personnel over there.
I don't know. They got Ingram. What you call it? Got Ingram in the first round, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're out there, but I don't know. You just drafted Schultz in the what round did we get Schultz?
Fourth.
So I mean, all of a sudden, I don't know. It's just hard for me to say, man. I really want to get through this season first.
Yeah.
I don't live that far in the future. If I can't get past Seattle, and then if I can't get past Detroit, and if I can't get past the next team, call me, bro, and I got an answer for you then. But I want to see, can we win, man? I mean, the season is not over. We got 14 more events. We have seen Dak play at a high level. All of a sudden, Dak don't have no football sense? Oh.
Let's take a break.
And we just lost, right? We 0-2. We got to be 0-2.
You got me in a bad mood today now.
No, the questions.
I'm grumpy.
Wait, give me a Snicker. Maybe I'll turn it into Nate Newton. I mean, come on, man.
I didn't mean to get you riled up. I was just asking about tone and how it works going forward.
No. It's we have shows before us, and then when the young people or the people call in, if you can't never see,
we take calls from old people too. By the way, we don't discriminate.
Yeah.
So.
If you can't never see the positive in a win, and all you can always see in the negative is the negative. So what we need to lose, so we can see some positive in losing.
Coach says it all the time. It's hard to win in the National Football League, and to me, I don't care who you're playing. Every team in the NFL is tough. Every game's tough. A win's a win, especially against the Giants at home that usually they beat us more times than we beat them at home lately. I'm with you, Nate. We won. And then everybody's like, oh, well, we didn't do this. We didn't do this. We didn't do this. I'm with you.
Yeah,
if you would have lost this game by a field goal or 1 point, then
your hair would have fell out.
Whoops.
2 for 2 field goal kicker.
There you go. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to learn about young Nate on Hanging with the Boys.
Cowboys fans know that the second best of anything simply won't cut it, and your skincare should be no different. A longtime locker room favorite of the players and the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Dallas-based Jack Black is the #1 best-selling men's skincare brand in the country because we make products that help guys look, smell, and feel better. Visit getjackblack.com/Cowboys to get $10 off your first order of $50 or more. Jack Black. Look good, smell good, feel good. Official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with sideline access and photo ops with current players, alumni, and cheerleaders. That's not all, though. You'll get to talk X's and O's with Senior Director of Player Personnel Will McClay, and of course with yours truly, me, Brian Broaddus. You can trust the official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, and with us, you'll travel like a pro. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Before there was a draft, you could size up a cowboy by 3 simple factors: the crease in his hat, the bend of his brim, and his unbending attitude. A man Stetson didn't just protect him from what life threw at him, it projected a rugged, unstoppable spirit. Stetson hats are still American-made with pride right here in Texas. They're still the unofficial crown of all self-respecting cowboys, and Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find a retailer nearest you at Stetson.com/Cowboys.
I definitely have an Instagram foodie thing, but the low-light camera on my new Samsung Galaxy S9 from AT&T is getting me a whole new world of likes and shares. Baskets of bread by candlelight, colorful fruit plates in full sun. Even a dimly lit Cobb salad was recently hailed as a masterpiece.
Come in now and ask how to get half off the new Samsung Galaxy S9 from AT&T. AT&T, more for your thing. That's our thing. Limited time only. See store for details or att.com/Samsung50. The dual aperture supports f1.5 mode and f2.4 mode. Dual aperture is installed on the rear camera.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Play fake to Elliott. Time deep. There's a shot and a man. At the 30, the 25, the 20, the 5. A right turn for Austin. Tavon Austin. Touchdown Cowboys. 64 yards for number 10.
Want to use what the pros use? Jack Black is the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys. Get your Jack Black Playmaker, 4 Jack Black faves plus a full-size lip balm for just $10. Kurt, that comes with free shipping.
Love it.
Get it at getjackblack.com. Use code word Cowboys. Also, the first annual restaurant week is coming to the Star in Frisco. Enjoy special lunch and dinner menus from a variety of unique restaurants while raising money for the North Texas Food Bank. Don't miss the Star Restaurant Week now through October 14th. Visit starinfrisco.com for details. We're going to take one more call, and then we're going to ask Tony all the questions about growing up with Nate Newton. Cam and Chico, what's up?
Hey, guys, man, this is awesome. We got a W.
We did.
Right.
Victory Monday.
I'm fired up, man. I was just it's almost like I just have a quick comment and a question.
Okay.
Here it is. It's like people don't know football. It's like Dak is learning who's who on his football team. And on top of that, he's not throwing picks. He doesn't put the ball in harm's way. The game is in hand, and he knows so long as he doesn't allow the Giants back in it because of something he does, his defense has a chance to keep extending it. It's like everybody wants him to throw 30 points on the board. Don't need that. That game didn't need that. It needed to be managed. Score, stay ahead, don't make a mistake. Simple as that. And win. Question. Would you rather have a guy, now Tony Romo, I loved him. Loved my boy, but those first 3-4 years, every time he would throw that ball up 20, 30 times, you knew there was a pick coming. You knew it because he took more chances than we would have liked to see. So my question is, would you rather have someone that puts the ball up like a Tony Romo early, maybe scores points, but puts you in a bad way sometimes, or a Dak Prescott who protects the football and can win? That's all. Thanks, guys. Love the W.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cam.
I'm going to tell you something. Tony, first 3 or 4 years, I don't think we helped him. Because Tony had to wake up out of his bed in the morning, literally laying on his back, wake up.
Knowing that he had to do it.
I mean,
wasn't getting done if he didn't do it.
Yeah, so he had to throw 30, 40 times. A whole different
Right.
situation. Dak don't have to wake up with that now. Not maybe this year. It may lean on him a little bit more. But last year, after the Atlanta game, it seemed like that. But up until that point, he had so many different weapons, so many people that he was comfortable with. He said, if I get this ball to the right person, we stand a great chance of winning. Whereas now he's learning a new receiving corps, and that's the drawback to not having a lead dog. Somebody say, man, wow, I'm throwing the ball to him, regardless
Covered
of
or not covered.
And see, this is what I don't understand about the Giants. I really don't. We had Odell Beckham.
Oh.
Now, and y'all called in with this foolishness y'all been calling in with today, I will be leading the band. Let me tell you something. It's 3 receivers in this league. Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, and Odell Beckham. brother, if they leave out of a game with less than 15 targets, something ain't right. Because even when they covered, I'm throwing that ball. And I may give up an interception, but them 3 guys going to get that ball.
Mm-hmm.
But now everybody else, get in line and wait your turn.
I got some advice for Cowboy fans.
All right.
Enjoy the season and enjoy the wins and enjoy this journey that Dak is on. And just enjoy it. Enjoy watching him progress and grow. He's going to get better. He's going to get better. So enjoy the ride. And if he has a bad game, he has a bad game. It's just like the first game of the season. We lost. We lost.
No bad game. No bad game.
No bad games.
You was doing a great speech, man. Till you said, if you have a bad game. See, I'm that's when you can't have this team's margin of error is so thin. You can't. Our quarterback cannot, for his sake and his team's sake, have a bad game.
But he will. There's no way he's going to play the rest of his career without having a bad game.
No, we talking about the rest of this season. See, y'all. See, that's what I'm saying. Everybody gets too far ahead.
So he's not going to have a bad
game.
The next 14 games are going to be great.
They're going to be nice. They're going to be nice to good.
Okay.
Our quarterback, in my eyesight, is still in the complimentary state. And what I mean by that is, if he directs, gets the ball where it's supposed to go, keep them in the correct play, make sure that he's doing his assignment, then I think he can have 14 nice games. Now, yes, he's going to throw a pick, but a pick don't determine whether you had a bad game or not. Picks determine, and people that don't know the game, that determines in their mind, oh, he threw a pick, oh, they had a bad game. Now, don't get me wrong, if that pick is with a minute left, you down by 3, and you going in to score, and you throw that pick, yeah, you messed up. But a pick early in the game, that ain't finna determine what's finna happen here. So, I try to educate fans, and I'm not going to try to, and I don't mind, like, man, I love him to death. Y'all know I love it, but I will say the same thing over and over, hoping that somewhere, like your dude in the lunchroom, had a dude.
Why is that my dude? Just because he sat at the table that ain't my dude.
He asked the same question. I gave the same answer, and we did this for 5 minutes. I'm like, wow. And I told him, I said, I don't know who you're listening to, but they are not. Football is a sport that it's a lot of moving parts. It's the only sport besides, I think, baseball that may have more moving parts than you can shake a stick at, that you need to come together in one purpose and one goal to win. And and I tell people, you got to want to learn this game and understand this game. And then when you learn this game and understand this game, learn some more.
Speaking of learning, Tony, we want to learn about growing up with the legend Nate Newton. Pull that thing in. You got to get it uncomfortably close to your mouth.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, to answer the question, it was great in our household. Being the youngest of 4. And
so you're the youngest?
I'm the youngest.
Okay.
What's Nate, 4 the brothers. Oldest? You the oldest, Nate?
We got a sister. She wasn't with us. Yeah. It's 5 of us. My sister didn't stay with us. It was me, Tim, Kenny, and now Tony.
Okay. And I can say in my household, I mean, we had an iron fist with Mom, who was a school teacher.
Yeah.
But in my household, I had the smartest brother in the neighborhood and 2 of the meanest, baddest brothers in the neighborhood. And it was great.
I wasn't mean, though. Nope. Tim was mean.
You were one of the smart ones?
No, I just didn't hang around. Kenny was our smart brother.
Uh-huh.
He works for NASA.
He's with NASA.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
So Tony got the looks. You got the athleticism. Kenny got the brains.
And Tim got the athleticism because he played for the Minnesota Vikings, Tampa Bay Bucks. Yeah.
Did you ever play against him?
Yeah. They beat us early in my career.
Yeah, we all traveled up for that. I remember that game in the 90s.
Yeah, he beat us early, but when I got that Super Bowl, it was
What's your favorite memory of Nate?
Favorite memory, the celebration during Super Bowl where you see the highlights where he actually dunks the Gatorade on Jimmy Johnson and misses. I think he hit Jimmy in the head with the cooler.
I missed him.
Is that the one where his hair's all messed up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good miracle. I know Jimmy, he was a mean dude to be so small.
Yeah.
I don't know if he got a little lashy when he got in the back or not, but.
Were you at any of the Super Bowls?
Oh, was I?
Every one of them.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
I didn't miss one. That was one of the great parts of being a little brother, Nate Newton. You get to travel around the country and go to big games, and I didn't miss the big games. So.
Yeah. So Nate always tells us that he grew up a Cowboys fan. Did you grow up a Cowboy fan, or did you have another team?
I became a real big Cowboy fan when he came to the Cowboys.
Okay.
Other than that,
who was your team?
We're all about Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You notice I said Tampa Bay. I didn't even hate on Tampa Bay. I said, at least they're in Florida.
Well, you know what? Believe it or not, I liked Miami back in the day because I just love me some Dan
for
Marino.
real?
Yeah.
Dan Marino.
That's right. That's right. Me and him got in a big argument in Tampa. I played for the Bandits. And my boy, the Bears, I was going for the back of the NFC. And he was like, man, Dan, what did he go?
Dynamite Dan.
Dynamite Dan. Well, we got a bad argument that day. I almost kicked him out of the house, man. Get up out of here. They broke that because they was undefeated, the Bears. Boy, Dan ate them up.
Dan picked them apart.
Did you and Nate ever get into any scuffles? Any brotherly
I was
scuffles?
way bigger than him.
Really?
Yeah.
How many years between y'all?
I'm 56. He's 41.
Yeah,
51.
You go.
Okay, so 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you something. Is my mom, boy, she was stern.
Mm-hmm.
She was stern, man, and she didn't play. So, we all, like I say, she handled us all the same, but a little bit different. As a good parent to know that they got all their kids are different, man. And but he, any game he wanted to come to, he was there. Even when I played with the Bandits.
Really?
Yeah.
Tampa Bay.
That's awesome. So before we get out of here, what's one thing you can tell us about Nate that we probably don't know? What's one interesting fact or a habit or a hobby or?
Well, growing up, we used to be real competitive in my grandparents' yard.
Yeah.
And he wasn't called Nate, he was called Buddy.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That's what we call him at home.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We got a new name on the show.
Now, you want more answer? Not because I don't answer to that. You just got to be family.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
you can
thought
say
we
buddy,
were family.
Yeah, you can say buddy all you want. I just sit here and.
So the family still calls him Buddy now?
That's what they call him.
That's right.
And
when they try to get all sedity, hey man, I want you to meet my cousin Nate. I be looking around like, who? Wait, Nate. Oh yeah, you want to meet my cousin Buddy. You got to stay family, bro.
Yeah.
You got to stay family.
But I can tell you, being competitive started in a little small town called Lottie, Florida.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
Right in between the two houses. We played football, we played baseball, we played you name it. That's where the competitiveness started there.
That's where the journey to the Super Bowl started.
This dude still think he a 3-point shooter. He still think he a 3-point.
Who was better in basketball?
He was.
You were?
I think I can.
Yeah, he can shoot them threes now. He used to. I don't know what he can do now.
I think I still got it.
Yeah.
Then when he joined the police force, he turned into a softball guy.
The knees go bad, you get older.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. A lot of things go bad when you get older. A lot of things point south that used to not.
Yeah.
But what he does now, he retired from, how many years been a police officer?
26.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so he retired. He worked all different areas of police enforcement. But he retired, now tell him what you do now, bro.
I'm the director of security for Orlando Magic.
Oh,
yeah.
So,
nice.
Yeah.
I was just about to ask you. I know Nate's a Celtics fan. Who was your team growing up, basketball?
we both like the Celtics.
You like
Yes,
the Celtics?
sir.
We both like the Celtics, believe it or not.
But now you like the Magic.
I'm all Magic.
Yeah.
I'm all
man.
Magic. I believe in Magic.
It's amazing when somebody pays you bills how soon you become a fan, isn't it? Everybody always asks me, who you a fan of? I'm like, whoever signs my check.
Let me tell you something. I went from having to be like getting tickets and stuff to now I'll be like, call Tony, he with the Magic.
Oh, well, let's get out of here. Let's do it again tomorrow.
Yes,
we'll do
sir.
it tomorrow, 12:30.
Yes.
And fellas, we're 1-1.
We are 1-1. We are not 0-2.
And when I see our quarterback,
Yes.
I'm gonna say, yo, Dak, Come meet the guy. Say you got to run over folks every game.
Yeah, you got the wrong message there. You got the wrong message.
I'm messing with you, dog.
Hey, we're gonna have a special guest on the show tomorrow.
Who?
WWE superstar Mickie James is gonna stop by.
Really?
She's easy on the eyes too.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, she's a
a wrestler. She's wrestling in Monday Night Raw tonight at the AAC.
You think she wrestled?
Oh, she would kill Kurt.
No way.
She would mop Kurt. She would mop the floor with Kurt.
She'd probably mop all of us up.
You did
Shannon's going to be like, hey, put me in a scissor hold.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's.
Doug, stop.
She's going to let me pin her.
Oh,
pin
man.
me anytime.
Yeah. You did a star profile on her in the magazine a couple of years ago. So you get to meet her in person.
Awesome.
So she's going to stop by for a segment or two. So
cool.
Well, Tony, thanks
Kurt,
for joining us.
Everyone knows you're pretty cool.
Thanks,
Kurt.
Dak.
Kurt, thanks for showing up.
Thank you.
Glad you made it back. Nate, thanks for bringing it.
On, Tony.
Douglas, thanks for doing what you do.
Do more shows, man.
Kent, thanks for pushing the buttons. 12:30 tomorrow on Hanging with the Boys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this,